This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Joe Hamilton, I said this on social, on Twitter, I think it was. Joe Hamilton and his partner Tom Ernesto, the assassins, the masked assassins, were they did a traveling program where they would wrestle the Kentuckians. They'd go to the territory, one would come in just a little bit before the other. They'd renew their rivalry. They'd shoot their big TV angle, and off they would go. And it worked. It really and truly worked. And I can tell you that the promos that Joe did on TV, on local TV, for those events were absolutely frightening for a kid that was 62. I was 10. And it just stayed with me forever. I'm 69 now, and I still remember those promos. I still remember his demeanor. He wasn't a yelling and screaming heel. So that when he did raise his voice or his intensity level, it was very, very significant. But Joe Hamilton was a real PhD. He had it all. Yeah, big man, 300 pounds that could move around, great psychology. And so he was a big influence on my career. And, I didn't know Burt Prentice well. I met Burt with Jerry Lawler several times. He was closer to Lawler than anybody I know because he did a lot of booking with Lawler. But I didn't know Burt very well. But my condolences to his friends and family, certainly. And then we had, who else we have?
Unfortunately,
oh, Bobby. Oh, God almighty. I think I have a hard time recalling that off the top of my head because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Seriously, I'm not analyzing myself psychologically, but golly, man, it's just he was such a wonderful human being, and he kind of put Huntsville on the map there, Conrad, a little bit because he was always from Huntsville, Alabama. So I love Bobby, I really did. I don't know anybody that didn't love Bobby, quite frankly. I heard a piece on Jim Cornette put out on Twitter, and obviously he was very emotional.
Yeah.
And rightfully so. They've been best friends for
40 years.
Yeah. And I would suggest, I might be wrong, that Corny was probably closer to Bobby than Corny was to family members. He and Bobby and Dennis, he and Bobby and Stan were on the road together, holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, all those things that we hear wrestlers talk about. So it's a terrible loss, and I feel so bad for Bill Dundee and his family. They lost their daughter and their son-in-law in a matter of weeks, and they got, Bobby and Donna had 3 kids, so nobody's talking about those kids and what the impact this had on them. So it's really a shame. But Conrad, comes time for all of us. I've said many times, our tomorrows aren't guaranteed. And this is a great example of exactly how true that statement is.
It's a shame to see, especially in the Eaton case. I mean, golly, those that family just lost Bobby's wife Donna just, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks prior to Bobby passing. But man, Bobby's had some rough health over the last several years, and if there is one good thing to come from all this, he's no longer in pain. He's finally at peace, and he's probably making heaven look good right now too.
Yeah, no doubt. The Alabama Jam lives in heaven, no doubt. I don't know. I think that if there's any good that comes out of this crazy stuff, it's the fact that most wrestlers and companies that are in an organization has some sort of element in it to address health issues.
Yeah.
It's as simple sometimes as taking a blood test. And I think sometimes, and a lot of us, I know the older I get, the more reluctant I am to go to the doctor. And I've got friends that are just the opposite. They want to know everything. And, my mom and dad both died at 64, so I've outlived them 5 years. So I think about that. Your own mortality, you start thinking about the older you get, and you can't help it. It's just it's going to happen. It's a matter of how you handle it, how you process it. But I'm happy the fact that the major wrestling companies have a component now where they can take care of their talent much better. And it starts as just simply a blood test. You know, I've always suggested that, you know, the blood test is going to tell you a lot of things you need to know about your health, your, you know, cholesterol, et cetera, et cetera. So, and then I think they should take a test for sleep apnea. How many wrestlers do you think have undiagnosed sleep apnea?
A lot.
Yeah. And it's eventually going to kill them. That's the end game. It eventually catches up with your ass and it will kill you because your heart just finally taps. So, I know when I was at WWE, we started testing guys for sleep apnea and found a bunch of them that were suffering and they didn't even know it. So I think that that's something that's better for the boys and the girls is health care. But it should have been that way and in place years and years ago. But you avoid all those things to save a couple of bucks. You know, it's all about the money, man. Why do you think WWE started to not legislate, want their product legislated by an athletic commission? Because, you know, they're not a sport, they're a performance art. But still, you look at, you know, I'm thinking if you have a key player, Conrad, on Broadway, for example, then you're going to make sure that that person's covered insurance-wise, key man insurance, whatever it may be.
Sure.
You have a key man policy?
Yes, we do.
See, that's important. It's really important, I think, because you're the straw that stirs the drink, and without Conrad, you know, we're all kind of hobbled.
I'll listen to you.
Well, serious. You know, you created this monster, and so now, and then you get charged of making it better, because we all want to make more money. You want to make more money. We all do. That's just the nature of our beast. That's why we're good at what we do. We're motivated. So, in any event, it's been a sad couple of weeks with these passings, and hopefully they say they come in threes and all that stuff. I just do not want to be included in the next group of three. You know, I'd just rather
It's a good
sit right
goal.
here, talk to you, you know, hang in there. So, but anyway, we should have, I'm glad that we got a chance to at least say something about those guys. And again, the only reason, folks, we weren't disrespecting them. We were simply timing when we were recording. Some of them, those guys had not, obviously none of those guys had passed.
No.
So now we're just catching up, and I'm glad that we got a chance to do that top of the show, and then we'll brighten it up here as we go through this broadcast.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.